Alright, so let's start again. Alright, so let me read again. This is Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Right? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? So this is going to pinpoint what is really going to be the that even that time, right? That and what famine. You know what I mean? Can say it all the time. Our people take everything to make joke, yo. Every single thing that they can think of, our people look at as some form of fun and laughter. If there's a hurricane coming to Jamaica, then you have people running up and down in the street. Even though they were warned and given precaution to give precaution, they run up and down in the streets playing soccer, you know what I mean, kicking ball in the water, drowning themselves, you know what I mean, being washed away. In all different manner of ways, people take these things for what? Light things, and therefore life's normally lost in those scenarios. You know what I mean? Every scenario they can think of really happen here, Jake finds some form of way to make light of it. But guess what they won't be able to make light of, you? The pain of hunger. You know what I mean? When you're hungry, 2-3 days, you don't see food, and you're weak, and your belly start crawling, you know? You start talking in your belly. You know what I mean? You start to all type of manner of evil thoughts in your head. If a father gonna take off a fire, or who you gonna hunt down to survive, it's a different ball game. You won't be able to laugh or make jokes in that time period, yo. That is why Bible say what? You're gonna have no pity for your neighbor in that time period. They're gonna destroy their house for what? The lack of bread. You know what I mean? You're gonna destroy their houses and the storehouses that they think of food because you've been hunting for food in that time period. But you ain't gonna be there, yo. Right? You won't be there. Right? We go to the next one. You know what I mean? This is Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. It says this is the beginning of sorrows and great mourning and the beginning of famine. I'm just pause that. Like I started earlier and saying, you know what I mean? I'm talking about wisdom, basically people mourning and having. It says one thing that laugh no. You know what I mean? Your laughter is going to be turned into mourning. And the ones that are basically mourning now, we are going to turn into are going to move into the phase where we're going to laugh at you. We're going to laugh at calamity when it's come. So we're going to get back to that, right? So it'll be that we're part of the elect. God is going to give us the spirit to be able to stand in that time with wisdom so we can laugh at what is coming. Because you mocked us, yo. You're not mocking us, you're mocking Yahweh Hashem, you're mocking the guy in the Bible. Because it's his words coming out unto you, and you take it light. Right? So it says, let me read it again. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and power shall stand in fear. Sorry. Power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What will you do when these evils shall come? Or are you going to find food? You know what I mean? Or are you going to maintain and sustain yourself and your family when the tables turn? Right? Behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and indignation and anguish are sent as quarters for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, right? Nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right? It says evil shall grow in that time, because again, this is the beginning of sorrows. It says what? It is the beginning of it. So you're gonna have mass killing, mass unaliving, you know what I mean? Pestilence breaking out because the white man is gonna leak out that have been so-called pattern diseases that he have stored up. Not only that, they're gonna have diseases that are gonna break out from people being dead and not being buried. Animals feeding on live dead bodies. You know what I mean? Spreading all type of diseases as well. You're gonna have humans eating raw flesh. Human beings though, eating their own children and their own family members. But they're gonna splash on one and not be satisfied. That's what famine does to people, yo. They get on cannibal, they get on animal like an animal, yo, trying to survive. Let me continue. It says, where was I? For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall be the sword destroyed, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. What? The dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. You won't have any funeral. You won't have any burial. Not even that will happen in the time to come. You know what I mean? You won't have any so-called dignified burial where people come out and celebrate their death. Really? Not even that. I will see synopsis of that as well. It never reached that far still, but in the big C time period, you had people that were unalive or lost their life through various illnesses. Those people, their funeral were basically limited to small gatherings. That was nothing really. So in the time to come, at some places they didn't have any funeral at all. When the time to come, what's gonna happen? That not gonna exist, yo. In the belly of dogs and junkies and other animals, wild animals running around, that will be a lot of people burial. You know what I mean? The belly of wild beasts will be a lot of people burial ground. Maggots and flies gonna basically take hold of bodies walking on the streets. Some grimy time period. You don't even have a mind to even to think about what is to come, yo. Because not in your good time, that's what you look at it. This can't be your good time, you're mad. You, but God loves so much, you make a sad mistake. Right? Let me continue. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all the places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another, and to hear his voices. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the quick groves, and in the clefts of the rocks, and the orchard of the olive upon every tree. There are, as in an orchard of olives upon every tree, there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently that seek through the vineyard. So it's saying that you're gonna have a limited amount of people remaining in that time. Majority is gonna be what? Put to death. Majority is gonna lose their lives. He said, broad is the way to what? Destruction, basically. You know what I mean? And to life is a narrow path. And few nearby are few find that path. Which is why I said a remnant and elect a small sanctuary, 154,000 elect men, first and foremost, which is the ruling government of the kingdom to come, And a third, that the Lord is going to preserve, that great number that He has restored to really a small number compared to what is going to be destroyed. Those are who's are going to survive, and that are mainly you Negroes. Well, what the ones are going to get started? Let me start now and say mainly. I'm speaking unto you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly, which basically are true Israelites, or whoever of that same seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the time to come. The Lord is going to look at you first and foremost to preserve the elect amongst you, because this is about us and a promise that the Lord made to us, not for everybody else, not for the entire globe or earth or the entire world. Hell no. The world and the people that God's really dealing with is a selected set, which is again the Israelites. Alright? So could go more, but so I'm doing an hour each and every time I come out here and wrap up. So hope the lesson was edifying, No. We have to give our praise again to the hour of Hashem Yahshai, Hashem Kakadash, and talk about here. Shalom.